Hello, fellow humans. Did you miss me? I just knew that I was gonna be like super perky and like I got back after here on here after like what has it been a week? It's been a full 7 days. But y'all, so I'm not really a drinker at all. I come from a long line of drinkers though. So for the Christmas holiday, you don't want to be a stick in the mud. Oh, I do really bad with peer pressure. I need to work on that. Peer pressure and people pleasing, the next frontier. But I get to my dad's house and they love alcohol. So they even have this machine that's like a Keurig, the little automatic coffee thing, but it's called like a bartesian and it makes your drink. So they're like cranking out margaritas. And my little brother just turned 21, right? So he's fully on board. He's done had like 3 margaritas and then he's throwing beers back because they have a beer refrigerator in the basement. So then my little sister comes. I'm the oldest on both sides with my mom's kids and my dad's kids, right? So she comes with the wine. Keep in mind, guys, I'm just like rocking with it. By the time Thanksgiving, I said Thanksgiving, see, I'm still fucked up. By the time Christmas has passed, like, because we started the day before Christmas Eve. By the time we got through dinner, I had drank so much that I was sober again. I didn't know this was possible. Like, I drank so much, I went all the way around the circle of fucked up to the return. And I wasn't even like fully gone. But the problem is I didn't stop there because I'm like, hey, how did I get undrunk? Maybe I can like get it back. No, nothing, nothing adds on once you have drank past the point of no return, as I'm going to call it, right? I felt fine. I thought I was fine. I was fine on the road trip back home. But when I got home yesterday, I thought I was dying. I didn't know what was going on. I was like, that's what I get for leaving the house. And I got sick. Today, I'm just like, wow, that was alcohol. I should know this at almost 40. But no, I had my first child at 19, right? And because of my childhood, because of the fact that my mom, she's a party girl, right? As a matter of fact, she eventually told me that I came into existence on purpose. She totally baby dropped my dad because she was tired of living in her mom's house. So she got knocked up with me so she could move out and do what she wanted to do. That's the energy she kept for the rest of the time after she raised me. So it was very important for me to be a sober parent. Not like I was ever like into the shits. I didn't even get a chance to really start into the shits. And I've been pretty, I don't want to say lame, because I'm proud of my children. I'm proud of how they turned out. And the sacrifice for me having fun has made them into beautiful people. But now that I am approaching an era when it's going to be me focusing on me, because I have a 20-year-old, crazy, right? An 18-year-old, she just turned 18 on the 21st. Yes, I have a solstice baby. That's what I have, all portal babies, but that's another subject. I have a 16-year-old and a 12-year-old. I have 4 babies. Well, they're babies to me, but they're not going to be babies much longer. So I need to figure out my human now. It's like my childhood was so messed up that I was frozen. As a matter of fact, like a book that I kept with me, and like anytime, even if I'd lose it, if I came across it again later in life, I would like purchase it. It was Leo the Late Bloomer. And that's funny. I always thought it was like, but I'm a Leo and clearly a very, very late bloomer. There are some things people talk about, and I'm like, what the hell is this? Oh my gosh, I have so much to learn. But what can you do? I had a moment this morning, and there's probably this new moon in Capricorn energy, which is the theme of this video, by the way, while I'm talking your ears off. Uh, that yo, I did so much people pleasing and sucking it up because God set me up to have a good heart in this life, right? Next life, I need to be like, if I gotta come back here, can I be Cruella de Vil to balance this one out? I know, a horrible thought, but I think that's sort of Capricorn energy. It's when you pick a goal because everything in your life has made you want to go after this goal with everything, and you pursue it relentlessly, no matter what happens. You are restrictive of yourself. You are focused on this thing. The thing I had been focused on before now was making sure everybody around me was good. I didn't really care what happened to me. And that came from a lifetime of people pleasing because my mom baby trapped my dad. My dad wasn't prepared to have a kid. And then afterwards, it's just like I was tossed back and forth, like all over the place, like everybody babysat Aisha, right? But it made me make myself smaller. Like everywhere I went, I just didn't want to be a nuisance. So I would adapt to whatever they needed me to be in. It's been a very hard ride because of that, which leads me to why I thought I was going to get on this camera and be perky. Like I be feeling like y'all need me to be on the up and up. And did my head get fatter? Why are these glasses hurting me today? But like, no, I'm happy that my voice sounds like this because it was almost gone. Like crazy. So I got on here to start my day. I said I wasn't going to be going back to work till tomorrow, but I hate it because I have a lot of stuff to do. So I'm just going to slowly work myself through my readings since I realized I'm just overcoming the wine, something I was not used to. So I am going to start with the energy oracle deck. And again, this message is for the new moon in Capricorn and how that's going to hit us. Once again, I have no idea where this is going, but I'm always excited about the ride. I think that's my favorite thing about this job, actually. All I gotta do is show up. Like on the days where I'm like, oh my goodness, my brain doesn't want to work anymore. My higher self says, Aisha, your brain doesn't like have to work. You sort of just open yourself and allow stuff to happen. I'm trying to fix my little Mormon dress and just forget it. Whatever, guys. I'm recovering from hungoverness. So, what is the energy coming in from this new moon in Capricorn at the 9th degree? I saw that back card, and that's not cool. But maybe. All right, I'm gonna take 4 because this is like what? 5, actually. I'm gonna clarify with the Akashic, and I'm gonna say this like every video that I use these cards now. And don't look at my nails. And that was me looking at my nails like, holy shit. Yeah, they were pretty last week. I only had one messed up when something happened, but I was trying it. But the Akashic Tarot deck is like the first one you should get if you're getting into cards. Period. It's like your library pass to the Akashic Records. And the Akashic Records are the energetic library that hangs above the earth somewhere in another dimension, but it contains the books of every lifetime you've lived, every storyline in this place. And it usually works best when you start with your story, but then you can branch out into big, bigger storylines, things connected to the history of humanity or star seeds or source or anything like that. And if you get lucky enough to sort of get a job like I get, other people let you use their books too. And it just helps give you a much bigger appreciation for the human experience and everything that's going on here. So, can I get a message for this new moon in Capricorn at the 9th degree? 9th degree is a Sag degree, guys. So, write down whatever comes to mind. Chances are it has something to do with your career. It's just Sagittarius's prophecy, right? So it's things coming through beforehand. Like you getting a peek at the timeline or your trajectory where you could be going based upon what you're doing now. And then if you see something you don't like, you can dig into during this energy, dig into what you can do to change that outcome. Because just as long as it's not in the present, as long as it's in the future, you can always deviate outcomes. So I pulled from the two separate decks to see what messages I would get. And these are collective, like for everybody, how it's going to affect everyone, right? Still got to shake it out because this first one was weird. So I got the Magician and Heartbreak, right? After that, it was Envy in the Door to Value, and then Blossoming Abundance, which is a weird combination to get. It feels way too specific for a new moon in Capricorn. I expected something more rigid, maybe. So if I were to just read this out and not think about the new moon in Capricorn or anything like that, what would this be saying to me? Somebody is transforming their heartbreak and general unhappiness in order to value themselves better and to calibrate to that vibration. If you have ever been afraid to succeed because of haters, that's about to be knocked out. That's the feeling. If you ever tried something and it did not turn out the way you wanted it to, so you were scared of trying again, because like it's the number 9. A chain of events is about to change that for you. And this could be something spiritual, something mental, something internal, or something that happens outside of you. But either way, the end result is you recognizing your worth and starting to bloom into that. Now, I pulled for the same thing from the Akashic Tarot. Let me show you what I got. I got Ascents, Paths Unknown, and Rebirth. And then, just because I had to pull 5, because I pulled 5 for the other one, the Oracle of Delphi. Now, I'm going to read this separately from the other one, then I'm going to pull them together like abracadabra. So, you're reaching the precipice of a new vibration, and you must decide where you need to go for the most growth. And that road that you take is going to, it's a whole rebirth. It's a whole new thing. It's like new storyline. Ooh, that just made me excited. New storylines? How does the oracle tie into this? I'm going to clarify that one. I'm going to clarify it with the energy one. How does the oracle tie into this? So both messages are saying there is a level up. It's, yeah, both say a new storyline based upon the healing work that was done. Either way, you're on track in your ascension journey. What I just got from what does the oracle have to do with this, right? Action and the angel of love and balance. Somebody's love and career go together. See this? There are some things, absolutely, that this whole collective has not been going after or because of like unhealed pain. And now I'm feeling like, even though I know every session is tied to a specific message from the moment that I start recording, my whole life backstory that I just told y'all has something to do with this. Like there are going to be parts of that that were relatable to you. Maybe you didn't even recognize. Damn, I was still carrying around this energy from childhood because I was just adapting to my circumstances, but I never went back and corrected the fact that that stuff doesn't work for me. It works for everybody else. That's what this just made me feel. Like using the wisdom that you now have that you did not have before, going forward during this new storyline for a different result. This is new intuitive abilities. And in a way, these are saying the same thing. It's like getting back what you lost during the years of being lost. So you're being given an opportunity with this new moon in Capricorn to jot down where you want to go next. Yeah, before you do this, I want you to take yourself through a regression, right? Oh, these always get the tears moving, a regression. Go back to your birth. And this is literally, you're just sitting in a comfortable position. I prefer a meditative one because it makes me feel like I'm serious about shit, just like, right? But go back to your first memory. Or you can even think about the circumstances of your life that you have recognized now that you grow up. Just go back to the youngest age you can think of. And I want you to walk through your life. Walk through your life like it was a movie and you're watching it. Some of us have that ability because we disassociated from a lot of it. But go back through your life, through your lore, through your story, and the character that you had to become, the character that you are now, your challenges, your victories. Go back through your life and acknowledge everything that you have went through up until now, because that's very Capricorn too. Capricorn is the legacy, right? Now, once you go through that whole emotional process, allowing yourself to feel the things that you did not allow yourself to feel at that time, there should be like I was about to say like the goat. Like you've been climbing on the mountain, but nobody knows how you're doing it because you're just hanging off the side. But your feet are locked in. Now that you have reviewed the entirety of the story, you get a better idea of the type of movie you're in, I want to say, because everybody's in a movie. Where do you want the story to go from here? That's what you're going to be journaling. Where do you want the new arc to take you? If you were to level up right now, what would you want your level up to be? What are you going to be intently focused on and building going forward? I am getting a message. So I'm going to use the believe in your own magic deck for whatever that message was that just pinged in my ear. So what is the message that needs to go along with this video? You can choose to stay stuck in your patterns and you'd go around the same loop over and over again. But because you are here watching this video, you have chosen to go in a different direction. You are nervous about this direction that you are choosing to go in, and you needed a sign. Hence, why I was pulled up to this computer today. I was like, I gotta do this. I don't know, it's really bothered me. I have to deliver this message. So, your throne, and it says your potential is endless. Nostalgia. Focus on the here and now. All right, you got to look back, review in order for you to say, all right, this is what I can do from here. Because how many times did I think I couldn't achieve something and I realized I missed the opportunity because I talked myself out of it? And you got to forgive. But this is like self-forgiveness I'm feeling. Forgive yourself for the times you didn't know better. I had a thought the other day. So you were learning the person you're in. You were literally just born into this. And everything from that moment is you being, well, damn, I didn't know that was in there. Okay, I have the worst story example for this, but it's not the worst. It's just like really vulnerable. And me telling it is like, okay, so your draconic chart, right? That's your soul. That's your oversoul, like the higher self that's controlling this body. It is the energy with which you entered these earth games, right? Your natal chart is the character you're in, the script for this life, this character, right? So there are different levels to it. Somebody can ping, send an energetic flare through your natal chart, and you'll be into each other on a like a superficial and characters in this game type way. But when somebody pings or triggers your draconic synastry, it has you in a chokehold, right? So I kept seeing, should I trigger warning? It's not trigger warning, it's adult content, but whatever. I kept seeing a particular type of like kink just popping up like on my algorithm. I mean, I I did not particularly think I had kinks. I haven't had time to explore it in this life. But it was popping up and I'm like trying to figure out where it is. And I found it in my draconic. Your eros is your joie de vivre, your sexual energy. But it turns out it doubles as a kink, right? So it was not in my natal, but I saw it in my draconic. And so I'm like, okay, I gotta figure out if this is real, so I can come back and tell the people. Y'all. So to figure out if this was really a thing, I took myself to the hub and I looked this thing up. I found a 2-minute video just because I don't like being on there. Because sometimes you come across a video and you're like, holy shit, these people are being trafficked. And it really ruins your day. Or somebody's in an act and they're not enjoying it. And like, I don't know about y'all, but I can feel like the energy in the video. And sometimes it's just not hot, right? So I found a nice little 2-minute one. I clicked it. I made it like 15 seconds before I had to pause. I was overwhelmed. I had to get up. I had to walk around. Like it was so much, like I couldn't even deal with the energy. I had to listen to music. But I ended up listening to, because you listen to whatever you are a vibrational match for, whatever's bothering you. I started listening to 911 by Wyclef, like someone please call 911. Like I was overwhelmed. All right. So I did that song. And I went back. I was like, all right, it's a 2-minute video, Aisha. You can finish this. It took me like 20 minutes of pausing and stopping this video to figure out, like, oh my gosh, what is this? I did not know this was possible. I've never felt like this. Why? So by the time I made it to the end of the video, I was so proud of myself. Put my headphones back on. I had to go listen to Survivor by Reba. Like that. I don't, there are things inside your vault you don't know about because you were learning you're human and they can surprise you. That's the whole human experience. I know my story was wild, but that's how it goes along the whole time. Like, for instance, you could have been a brunette your whole life, and then you dye your hair blonde, and then suddenly you're like, yo, I should have been born with this color because this fits my energy more. You are learning you're human, and the less you give yourself a hard time about the fact that you don't know everything about yourself, you don't know everything about everybody else, and you're learning along the way, the easier it will be. So forgiving thyself for the times that you let yourself down is mostly what I'm feeling. This is about you reclaiming your power. And what backs that up? It's just somebody drawing their own castle. And it says mural, be your own first priority. So for today's new moon in Capricorn, what do you want for yourself going forward? What do you want the story to be told at your funeral if we got to be dramatic? What do you want people to remember you by? What do you want to pour the energy that you have left into so that when you leave, something remains? That is the theme of Capricorn. And with this new moon energy, you can cultivate, channel, move around what you want that to become. I hope that you make sure to include love and not just financial stuff, because that you can't take that with you when you're gone. You can have something with your name though. Like, how do people remember your name? How many people did you touch? Did you live a life that made you happy? I realized for a very long time this year, like I was trying to go through my emotions. Like, why do I feel like bleh? I'm not able to get my metaphysical ping up with excitement like I used to. Like there was an error in there. And then I realized I am not in the process currently of living a life that makes me excited about living. I had to make some changes. I'm still in the process of making them changes. But admitting it to yourself is important. Like I started smoking. I didn't smoke my whole life. I started smoking at 30, 36, right? Maybe 35. But it was just to blur out the fact that I wasn't doing what I want to. And I was really unhappy. When you are happy in your life, you don't need anything. You want to be present every day. I did not want to be present. I was more of a, if you can't beat them, join them. Everybody else is doing this around me. And it numbed the misery. Now, knowing what I know and coming into self, I'd rather feel the misery and then find a way to make it better than to numb it through the use of narcotics. I don't judge anybody on antidepressants, but I think that's what it does too. It numbs out the thing that's making you sad instead of giving you the tool to assist you with overcoming it. So now I am focused on living a life that I don't want to numb myself out from or to sleep through or anything like that. Because that's a miserable existence. You can't keep your fuel up that long if you are not. If you are in a situation where thinking about living that out for the rest of your life makes you want to vomit, that's not the life for you. Get up, get up. You can do something about it. And that's the theme for this video. You might not know where the path is going based on where you are now, but nothing can take away your right to choose. That is the glory of free will. Plant the seeds now for things to come up and you can clear it out. A message today, guys. Have a good day. I hope y'all enjoyed my TMI as usual.